Excuse me.
I'm not giving to LeBron. I don't like LeBron.
I like him already.
And so there was a constant battle about Dunkin' Donuts versus Tim Hortons, and that was it's never ending.
I got up, I fixed my helmet, I look, and I just see Herb take off. Like he just, I just see the hair flowing, like now he's running, and. Yeah, you got to see Herb. When he runs, his eyes are always like, so I just knew, like, I knew he was running, so.
Man, this guy's unstoppable when it comes to basketball. Well, but yeah, definitely one-on-one, he got me.
Fried rice, you can't be eating fried rice all the time. But
you'd be switching your sports. You'd be going from basketball to sumo.
I know. I already got the bun, you see?
You must have liked the way I played that game because he knew me my whole life. There was something about that game that made him be interested in me. You know what I'm saying?
Because Mace, you're gonna get 285, 280. You gotta, and I'm only 240, so I gotta kind of bring my technique. And then KT's just a freak athlete in itself, so you gotta bring your hard hat and your lunch pail every day.
Can I just say this? Man, I just love your competitive nature, bro. Like, I feel like I'm ready to strap on the jersey right now, man. I'm only 5'5", though. I don't know what I can do.
They say, listen, you know how as coaches you get mad at the guy just standing in the corner and watching another guy cook? I can't be like that because I was watching you cook and
it was impeccable. So watching certain highlights, I'm like, yo, I gotta try it. And trust me, not everything was as good as it looks now. Because no look passes I threw off of somebody's face. So
I'm just saying, right? Hear me out. I don't want to hear you out. It's Mac Jones. I'm done. I think I might have to. I don't know. I don't know if I'm out of Mac Jones anymore.
Really?
No, who am I kidding? Oh man!
Breaking news! Oh my gosh!
Breaking news! We get a lot of breaking news.
Oh God! Yes,
especially when it comes to that fraudulent NHL Stanley Cup championship. We'll get to that on the other side.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
Man, that was just terrible. We got games going on. What, 15 minutes from now? We got game 2. Bucks Suns.
Ooh. Chris Paul's gonna get this ring.
It's about time. But how many games is it gonna take him to get it?
Might go 7.
I think it's gonna go 7. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go 7. I don't see it.
I think so.
I don't see it staying under 7.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
So we have a personal guest of mine, personal friend of mine. Friend of Alex's, who was on a couple nights ago. He is a Duke track athlete. He's cruising through his sophomore year right now, and I'm telling you, this kid, he's fast. And I'm telling you right now, I see this kid run every single day. Ladies, if you're watching, head on down to Com Ave. I'm not sure exactly what time he runs down there, but listen, the man is running without a shirt on.
I feel like he wants to focus, though. I feel you can't have all the ladies watching him. He can't focus running.
Nobody would look at me if I ran. Pretty sure. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's get Theo on here. Let's give it up for Theo Burba. Theo, what is going on?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good, man. Good.
I'm probably going to ask this a little bit later on, but what goes through your mind, being a track athlete, especially at, a university like Duke?
Yeah. I mean, Duke it's such an exciting place to be at. It's, for me, going to Duke I was looking to find the place where academics and athletics met at the highest point nationally, competitively. And as soon as I stepped foot on campus at Duke, I knew that was the place for me. And it's just such an honor to get to run and compete wearing the Duke logo. It's a really dream come true for me.
Man, I tried going, semi blue today. I tried my hardest. I don't have that much Duke stuff. I'm out on the Duke football team. I'm iffy about the basketball team. Everything that happened with the lacrosse team, whatever. But, hey, maybe I'll have to. What do they wear? Like are those like tank tops?
Yeah. They call it a singlet.
Singlet.
I can get you one if you want one.
I'll take one.
All right, yeah, Charles, I'll get you.
Is it safe for me to wear outside in public?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I definitely rock that. No, I haven't worn a singlet since freshman year in high school wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same idea.
Do they have the little pants on them or no?
Oh, I can get you some shorts too.
Oh,
some silkies.
Hey, you got to go all the way, Dan.
Exactly.
All right. One day Charles comes over here. We'll be out in the yard playing basketball or playing wiffle ball. I'll be wearing those silkies.
Exactly. You look like Larry Bird out there playing.
Yeah. I gotta get that fro going.
Yeah.
But other than that, growing up, I feel like everybody's from Newton. What are they putting in that? First of all, what are they putting in that water? Okay. Second of all, I know your parents are track athletes. They went to Brown. Did that have any influence on you growing up?
Yeah. For me, the first sport I started playing, started playing soccer in first grade, and then I love soccer. I played until I was a junior in high school. Then senior year, I did cross country just because I didn't want to get hurt once I was committed. But I started track at a very young age as well. I think maybe like sixth grade, I probably started for real. And I did this program over in Waltham called Waltham Track Club. It's a great youth track and field program. It's run by the Newton North girls coach. He does a great job there, just like helping kids develop, teaching them how to run, doing technique for the field events and everything. And that was a really great introduction to the sport, because a lot of kids will start training hard when they're young. And training hard while you're young, well, that's really great to be fast in middle school. You want to keep that going a little longer and try not to burn out too young.
Right. Diving into college a little bit, man. What was your welcome to college cross country moment?
I think my welcome to college cross country moment was, we do this workout during preseason every year with our old coach. It was called Hagenstone. It was this like state park or something in North Carolina called Hagenstone State Park, and it was essentially a race, like on the third day of practice or whatever during preseason, and it's like a 2 by 3 mile or something. And basically he lined us up. He said, "All right, go." And it was like a 3 mile race on the second day of practice. And I was not in shape to do that at the time. So I did my first rep and I was like, yeah, that's it for me. And then the other guys go on to do the second rep and run even faster. It's like, all right, I'm in the big leagues now. This is not Newton North anymore.
And that's insane. I mean, what made you choose? Do you have a choice at what distance you run, what type of races you want to compete in?
Yeah. So I started out doing like the shorter races, like the 200, 400, and I did the long jump as well. Did some field events, and then in sort of maybe in like 8th grade, I figured out that the 800 would be my best event. So I picked that up, and then in high school I did 200, 400, 800, 1,000. And now in college, my main focus is the 800.
You picked up quite a few accolades and championships, or some pretty good milestones while you were in high school. I was watching some of those highlights, and I think there was one video on there. It was I think it was one race you guys were running, and you were down like I think one event.
Yeah.
Just seeing you run across the field trying to hype your team up.
That was so in New North, it's a very strong track and field tradition, and we're actually undefeated for like 20 years in indoor dual meets, so like one-on-one against another school. So 20-year undefeated streak on the line in outdoor track. They lost maybe in like the late 2000s sometime, but it's really like one loss in the past couple of decades. And so that was a really intense meet for us because that was one that Wellesley is really good, and they had a chance to beat us. So the meet was tied coming down to the end of it, and you can only do 3 events. So I had done my 3 events. So I just had to stand there and watch, which was terrible for me. I wanted to be the one out there getting to seal the deal. So I let my teammates take over, and they did their job, and we ended up tying that meet. So the tie kept the undefeated streak alive. I mean, a tie is still undefeated. Would have liked to have won that one, but at one point our coach told us, yeah, it's over, we lost. And then he came back over and said, you know what, we still have a chance to tie this meet. So we went out there, tied the meet, and maintained the undefeated streak. So it was good. It was
funny because I only know the calm Theo. I only know, like, you know, seeing him run down the street, the calm, nice Theo. I'm watching this video and they're bleeping out words from him left and right. I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
No, but I also saw that I think it was during the season your coach had passed away.
Yeah. So Coach Jim Blackburn, he was a longtime New North track and field coach. He had a huge influence in my life. He taught me so much about the sport and just like how to be as a person. And so he had been sick for a little while, and he stepped away from the coaching, and the assistant coach took over, who was great. I really love him. And then Coach Blackburn passed away, and I think it was maybe March of that year, and it was a tough moment for all the guys on the team because he had such a huge influence in all of our lives. But, you know, we went out there and we sort of started this thing like for Blackburn, Coach Blackburn, and we went out there and kept on winning all the meets. So it was good.
That's awesome. In peace. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Wow. Talking a little bit more about the sport of track, what moment did you realize, you can be really successful with this sport?
Yeah, I think that moment came for me. I would say my sophomore year of high school, I had a pretty big results in indoor 600 meters. I ran the 10th fastest time in high school history for the indoor 600 meters. So that was a big one for me. It has since been surpassed. I maybe sit like 11th or 12th now. But it was really that moment for me that said, wow, okay, I have a lot more in the tank here, and I can do something pretty special over the next year. And then so I'm still chasing that breakthrough right now, but I know it's coming. I think this year is going to be the year. I got injured last year, so I wasn't able to have it then. But yeah. But this year I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, I saw you got injured. What was the injury?
Yeah, I got this. I ruptured my plantar fascia in my right foot during a workout, which was very painful, not fun. I had to miss all of indoor except for the first meet, and then all of outdoor track as well. So lost a full year there, but I got to maintain the eligibility, so I can now. I'm all in at Duke for 5 years. I'm going to do a grad year and come back for year number 5, but I now have the option for year number 6.
Year number 6. That's insane.
Yeah. That would be a lot.
So
of
you got the double whammy.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, speaking on that, man, staying on that topic of during the time you were out with your injury, explain a little bit how much mental it took you to like really just every day, try to get yourself, still in a positive thought,
Yeah, running is a super hard one to be injured in. Just because running, it's like if you take a day off, like you'll feel it, and if you take 4 months off, you're really going to feel it. And, I was rehabbing, I was doing physical therapy. I was on the bike, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, just working out. I was in the pool doing pool workouts, just doing anything I could to maintain my fitness to the extent that I could through the spring to get ready for a consistent summer of training. And then even then with returning to running, this was the type of injury that will really just linger for a little while. So it took, probably a full, a couple months really to get back to where I'm at now. But now I'm feeling healthy and fit and ready to roll for some good summer training.
We're ready for that. And hey, I want to see you down Hayward Stadium.
Yeah. Go out to Oregon. That would be pretty sweet.
That's where I would love to. I mean, that's where all the tops go. So
yeah. They
got to get out there. What do you feel is? I mean, you only talk about track and field, and you talk about these types of things when it comes time for the Olympics. Do you feel like there's not a lot of light shed on these events that should be, or is it just because of where we're located we're not able to find these certain types of things?
That's a great question because the Olympics come around every 4 years and track and field kind of skyrockets to the top of sort of the national spotlight because Summer Olympics, Usain Bolt winning the 100, like it's kind of been a staple for the past 4 years, but he's gone now. There's some new people in the mix, and I think that it's really important to recognize what track and field athletes do in those off years that are not Olympic years, because there's a World Championships in there. There's some European circuits called the Diamond League that actually makes its way to the States, I think, once a year. There's some really serious competition that actually does get televised on NBC Sports occasionally. So it's there for people who want to watch it. And I would highly recommend watching it because some of these athletes are just incredible and really exciting to watch. They put on a good show with it.
Especially with the training. I mean, I went to high school, and I'd have friends that are in track, and they're not eating lunch because they have a meet after school, or they got, long distance cross country after school. They're just sitting there pounding water all day. I'm like, you need to eat something. He's like, no.
Yeah.
I gotta pee. I gotta make sure I'm hydrated. Yeah. I'm like, okay. It's that what goes into, say, the night before a big meet. I mean, at least for me, football, the night before a huge game, we have a pasta party and shave each other's heads off.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think running it's you really have to embrace it as a whole lifestyle. It can't be one day on and then the next day off. Even on vacation, like you just can't take a day off. I think I maybe take 2 weeks all year off from running, maybe 3. When I'm healthy, obviously, I took a couple months off there due to injury. But you really got to commit to it as a lifestyle with just making sure you're eating clean, making sure you're staying hydrated, making sure you're training consistently, because consistent training is the name of the game when it comes to especially middle distance running. It's just you need to build consistent years and stack consistent weeks, months, years in order to get where your goals are. And then for the night before a big race, for me, it's usually, I like to have some pasta, something that'll sit well for the next day. And then mostly it's just chill out. I think a lot of times in high school, for sure, I got really, really anxious and really wrapped up in thinking about the race well before I should have. And that will actually drain your energy. And so one thing I've been working on over the past year or so is really trying to just, live life, not worry about the race until it's really start to get in that zone, maybe an hour before you're racing. Just maintain your nerves, stay calm. And that's been one thing that's helped me out a ton, just being a lot more level leading up to the race.
Wow.
Is that something they've taught you, at Duke?
I think that's just sort of something I've developed on my own. They don't necessarily teach you that, but they do have, the facilities and resources at Duke are amazing. If you want to go speak to the sports psychologist, you can just set up an appointment and go through all that stuff with them. But that's something that I really have sort of tried to dial in on my own.
That's awesome. That's something a lot of people should probably
take
in. I mean, I definitely should. Did you get offers from any other schools, or you just had Duke on your mind?
I was my recruiting. I got in track and field. It's not like football or basketball where they've just sort of got offers to toss out because they know the kids are going to come. There's very limited scholarships in men's track and field and cross country, just due to Title IX and due to the fact that it's not a revenue sport. So, you don't really get an offer from a coach until you are basically at the point where I will commit if you give me this offer right now, So my final, I think I got it down to like 4 schools. It was going to be Duke, University of Michigan, Georgetown, and Brown University. And then
he had to throw Brown in there.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I scheduled my official visits where, you go out to the school, meet the guys on the team, get flown out. That's the whole thing. Those are a big part of the recruiting process. I scheduled my Duke visit first because I knew that if everything went well there, I would commit on the visit and be done with the whole process. And that's what happened for me. So I went on my Duke visit, sort of the handshake with the coach, and then got home and I called up the other coaches who I had been speaking to and canceled my visits with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That good.
Talk more in depth about it, man. Like, how does it really feel that you're actually an athlete at Duke University, man? Because that's again, like we were saying offline, that's a historic school.
It really is. Yeah.
What's the atmosphere like of being a part of the? It's like a family, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. They say it's a brotherhood with the basketball team. I think that extends to all the other teams. Duke's been ranked number 1 as the number 1 university for student athletes a couple of years running now. And I can tell you firsthand that that's absolutely true. It's just been the most amazing experience, the way they take care of us as athletes. And you sort of compare it to how I know some of my competitors and teammates from the high school days, how they're being treated by their universities. We're just operating in a completely different atmosphere. Like the Ivy League canceled a lot of competition, like over the past, year and a half due to COVID, and being in the ACC, like being in a conference that really takes the sport seriously. They moved mountains to get us to be able to compete, and Duke kept us really safe during COVID. We were getting tested every day. We would only go to universities that adhered to Duke's standards of COVID safety. So we were really getting taken care of there. And it actually showed the men's and women's cross country teams. They were one of the only teams on campus at Duke to have no COVID cases. And that's just sort of a testament to how seriously Duke was taking it and just how lucky I was to be there, especially during this whole thing.
Wow. I mean, you just said a little bit about with the COVID, 2020 was very difficult for the whole country. What did you take out of the year 2020, man?
Yeah, I think, COVID for me, we went home from school in March of 2020 and for spring break. And then we got an email halfway through spring break that said, yeah, you're not coming back this semester. So I really used that time to refocus my training and really dive into all the aspects of consistent training outside of just the running part. And I think I really developed as an athlete and just as a person during that time, because I was able to commit that much more time to my training and really turn it into a lifestyle thing at that point. Whereas before, I loved running, but I hadn't fully committed my lifestyle to it. But I think during that COVID pandemic, everyone had a ton of time on their hands. I picked up the routine of working out 2-3 times a day, every day to get to where I want to be.
Wow. 2-3 times a day. Dang. I wish 2 days for me. The next 3 days, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's great, though. That's great. That's really good.
Now, do you have any? I know some former people we've had on here. We asked them a little question like, do you have, say for football, do you guys have the basketball team or somebody else coming out, wanting to play you guys in like street ball or whatever?
Yeah.
Do you have any like of the football running backs, wide receivers try to run with you guys?
There actually are. There have been a couple of guys on the football team who have joined the sprint squad in the spring. They run the 100 and the 200, sometimes even indoor track as well. They'll do the 60 meters. I'm on the cross country roster, so we practice separately from them. So I haven't really gotten the chance to get to know them well. But you see them around in the locker room, and they're super cool guys. And it's pretty fun to be like, wow, I'm here. I'm the lanky distance runner, and here's some football players walking around in my locker room. It's pretty fun. It's cool to see those guys, and watch them go out there, compete against some of the nation's fastest kids, and totally hold their own. It's pretty cool.
Man,
Now I want to see you guys face the basketball team.
Yeah, well, it's funny. We'll see them. During preseason, they see us out there every morning super early. And then some days we'll see them out there. They're having to run some, I don't even know what they would do, but maybe 400s, one lappers. I doubt they're doing miles on the track, but they're out there. They're jogging, they're doing their thing, and it's funny to watch it. Yeah.
No shade though. No shade.
Exactly. These huge guys like doing what we do every day. It's pretty funny.
You got to sit there and critique them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know if I would want to tell Zion how to run. I think I would just let him do his thing. Yeah.
Well, you got to teach him how to play basketball now.
Oh. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I could use some pointers from him.
Yeah.
I got to work on my pickup game.
One of the question that I just wanted to get out the way, because again, I always had this vision of talking to somebody that either plays or coaches at Duke. Have you met Coach K before?
I have not met Coach K. I wish I could say I have. Coach K on campus, he stays pretty secluded. I'll see Coach Shire, who is going to be his successor. I see him around. I see Nolan Smith, who was the director of basketball operations. Now he's named associate head coach for the upcoming new era of Duke basketball. You see those guys around on campus, showing recruits around, just walking around, grabbing some food. But Coach K, I think that he, because at Duke, there's always some tourists on campus, taking pictures at Cameron Indoor or, taking pictures in front of the chapel. So there's always people around who, if they saw Coach K, they would be like, wow, that's Coach K. We got to stop and take a picture. And I think he knows that and tries to avoid it for that reason. Because my buddy he was staying on campus a little later than us this year. I went home because I was injured. But he kept going to the postseason, and he said that all of a sudden he was seeing Coach K around everywhere once all the students were off campus and once everything died down a little bit. So I think that he sort of tries to keep to himself during the school year.
He's a hermit crab.
Yeah, exactly. But so I have seen him a couple of times. Every time you go to a game, he's obviously in there, and that's so cool to be in there, be in the student section in Cameron with the Cameron Crazies. And then Coach K comes walking out across the floor. It's a really fun experience. And then I also saw him the other time I saw him. We were at the University Black Lives Matter protest run by by Nolan Smith. He put it together in conjunction with the athletic department and the basketball team. And Coach K got up there and gave a really powerful speech. So that was super cool to hear from him. In that setting. Wow. Just setting a great example for all the student athletes and all the students at Duke.
Amazing. Wow. Well, if you see him, tell him Charles McCray says hi.
Yeah, I got you. I will.
I don't know. I always thought he wore a wig, so you just snatch that thing right off.
Yeah.
No, but hey, believe it or not, this used to be in shape. Okay. When I was in the Army, we used to have to wake up at 4:00 in the morning, and certain days we would have to run this hill. It was called Netzerberg Hill. And the night before our first sergeant, he'd be like, all right, you gotta take one baby aspirin at night and make sure you hydrate. And Netzerberg Hill was like, I don't know math, geography, geometry, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's at like a 45, 50 degree angle, just like boop, and it's like a mile and a half, 2 miles, and
that's long. That's long.
It was terrible. Would you suggest taking a baby aspirin to possibly thin your blood out to make it move faster? Is there like any tips or tricks?
I think honestly, just drinking a ton of water, it'll make all the difference in the world the next day when you wake up and go run. Because if I can feel it on days where I don't drink any water, I feel like garbage in the morning, and my run is garbage. So I'd say keep drinking the water. But to make the runs feel better, the other thing is just it's really the water. Sometimes in the morning I'll take an Advil if my knees are hurting, because my knees hurt a lot. But it's mostly the water, I'd say.
That's the
trick. Relay that information. The water.
Yeah.
And, it's funny. The Water Boy's on, or at least it was on TNT earlier.
Stick to your water, man.
What are you majoring in right now?
Yeah, so I'm doing a double major. I'm doing economics and Spanish.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You got to teach us some Spanish.
Yeah, I'll teach you sometime.
We've been together with our wives for quite some time, and they both speak Spanish. And
oh, really?
Poquito.
Sí.
So definitely gotta learn that Spanish.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Now, coming out of that, you said that you wanted to go back to grad school. What do you plan on doing there?
Yeah, so Duke has a program called Masters of Management Science, which is, they won't tell you that it's tailored to the athletes, but it's a program that is particularly accessible to fifth-year student athletes. And it's from my teammates who have done it so far, it sounds like it's a pretty manageable workload, and it really gives you the opportunity to dial it in for that one last year to really go chase your goals without so much of that school burden on top of it. So I'm pretty excited to do that one. I've got that lined up. That's sort of my plan for the fifth year, and that one's nice because it's that 1 year program, and then it counts as one half of an MBA. So I can go back at some point, go back to Duke. I can come back 5, 6, 7, 8 years later and just do 1 year, and they will combine for an MBA, which is a really, really cool opportunity.
Wow. That's amazing you say that, because, I think, with the younger generation coming up, especially because if you think about it, a lot of these, the reason why I've always been intrigued with track and field and cross country, because, it's anybody can do it. Anybody can be involved in it, especially in high school. I was too lazy to do it, because, anybody can make the teams, you just
exactly.
Certain people quit after, certain people stay on the team, and talk a little bit about, even before the meet, how locked in should you be before a race or the day or the day of the race? How locked in should the future cross country athlete should be before? Should they be calm? Should they be distracting themselves with music or anything? Like what do you suggest?
That's the thing. It's such an accessible sport, and that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. Anybody can grab a pair of shoes and go for a run and see how they do. But I think for the race day, like I said, like in the past, I've gotten super worked up. I've been not able to eat in the morning, like just the nerves are going crazy. But now I like, go for a shakeout run in the morning, just really relax, just go jog for 10 minutes, get the legs moving, get the blood pumping. And then just go back, we're on the road in a hotel room. So you can just go back to your hotel room, absolutely chill out, watch some Netflix, watch some TV, do some homework, whatever will sort of take your mind off your race. And then afterwards, you hop on the bus, you go over to the track, you're like, okay, headed over now. Maybe I'll start to lock in a little bit more. And then, sometimes you have to kill like 45 minutes at the track before you go warm up for your race. I typically like to get moving an hour before the gun's supposed to go off for my race. And then, so at that point, once I go for my warm up run, that's when it's like, okay, here we go. It's race day. It's race time. Let's start to get in that race day mode. But I like to try and push it off as long as I can because, like I said, I do think it takes a lot of mental energy to stay locked in like that all day long, even the night before. And that'll put you on edge and you can feel it when you get on the line if you're calm or if you're not. And being calm is a huge, huge advantage over your competitors.
And when like you said, when that gun goes off, like when you're on the go, what is going through your mind? Are you just trusting your work that you put in?
Yeah,
or you just like,
that one's the biggest one for me. It's confidence in your training. I've had times where I've been racing and I had very little confidence in my training and it showed in my results. But when you're confident in your training and you know that you've hurt more in practice than this race can possibly make you hurt, that's when you're like, all right, I just got to go for it now. I've been there. I've put in the work. Now it's time to just go let it result. It's sort of one of my coaches, he liked to say, racing is a celebration of your training. Don't think about it as, it's it's race day. Think about it as a celebration of your training. You've put in all this work. You've dealt with the stress. You've dealt with all the hardships of training. Now just go out there, go race, and see what you can do. And I think adopting that mentality has been one thing that's helped me a ton in just staying calm for race day.
Wow.
Now, would you say something like, I know student athletes, they get drug tested, every, almost every week, probably. The whole entire situation going on with Shikari Richardson right now.
Yeah.
She knew what she was doing. She came out and she apologized. Now, there's Japan's on lockdown for COVID right now. They shut down. So, this was something I wanted to bring up with you, Charles, but I figured what better person to talk about it, it's been probably 15 some odd years since I've smoked weed.
Yeah.
I don't think that would make me faster. I don't do you feel like there should be something written, now that marijuana is legal in almost every single state?
This conversation is the number one hot topic in track and field right now because you have Shikari Richardson. She's absolutely putting on a show for people to watch at the Olympic trials, and people love her. Like, I love her. She's an outstanding athlete.
Oh my God.
So talented, and she can command an audience like nobody I've ever seen before. And that's one of the big things that makes the superstars in track and field. Like, you look at Usain Bolt, like, he goes out there, he wins the race, and he puts on a show for everyone afterwards. And that's how you remember the name. Obviously, he's a world record holder. He won all these gold medals. But he really gave the fans what they wanted to put on the show. And I think Shikari, she has that potential as well. I think I watched her race while she was at LSU. I watched her destroy everybody in the NCAA. I was like, wow, here we go. This is the real deal. She's a freshman right now. She just won the NCAA title at the 100 meters. Like, she's going to be a big deal. And so, you fast forward 2 years to the Olympic trials year, she's at the trials and she is the number one name in the women's 100 meters. And so everyone in the track world knows that at the time. But, the mainstream does not really register, people in the track and field world leading up to Olympics, even at the Olympic trials. But then she goes out there, she runs fast, ESPN gives her some love, and then boom, all of a sudden, like, she's mainstream, which was just so exciting to see, to see a track and field athlete out there, like, on SportsCenter, on all in my Instagram feed, like everywhere. And then, the news comes out after she runs the world's fastest time in the 100 to I believe it was the world's fastest. It might have been the second fastest. There's a very fast woman in Jamaica right now. And then so she wins the U.S. Olympic trials, which is essentially puts you in very good contention to go get a medal in Tokyo to win the U.S. Olympic trials. And then the news comes out that she was stressed and she smoked some marijuana
She
at
lost
the
her
Olympic
mother.
trials. She lost her mother, and the details of that are very interesting. It's someone said that a reporter was the one who told her that she lost her mother, and like that, that's a lot. So she was stressed, and she decided to de-stress, and it's a terrible situation because I think that the USA Track and Field guidelines that say she needs to be banned from the Olympics because of her actions here. That's probably an outdated rule, that has not caught up to she's an organ. That's a completely legal thing to do in the eyes of the law. But in the eyes of USA Track and Field, that was a violation. So that disqualified her from her 100-meter results, but it still left the door open for her to be selected by the USA Track and Field selection committee for the 4x100 relay pool. So the top 3 athletes in the 100 get to go to Tokyo and represent the United States in the individual race, but there's a 4x100 meter relay as well. So they have 3 athletes going, and they bring a 4th, but you need some alternate athletes as well in case someone's tired, someone gets injured, and to not tire people out before their individual races. So USA Track and Field did have the option to bring her as part of that pool because that's a selection committee. That's not strictly based on the results at the Olympic trials. And they chose not to bring her, and they said that it's because they want to adhere by their own anti-doping policy. So the USA Track and Field made that decision to leave her at home, which it's a really tough one to see. And again, I think for me, from my point of view, it just goes back to some outdated policies that the USA Track and Field sort of in their guidelines and their bylaws that probably need some updating, because I think that's like Daniel, like you said, like I don't know if weed is going to make you faster. I think it's, if anything, it might slow you down. You don't want to put stuff in your lungs that's not supposed to be there if you're trying to run fast. So it's just a terrible situation. And it unfortunately it draws the wrong kind of attention to track and field. You don't want this, what's supposed to be the face of United States track and field, women's track and field, to be in the news because of a drug scandal. You want her to be in the news because she's an Olympic gold medalist, which she had a very, very good chance to go do. So it was just very heartbreaking for myself, my teammates, everyone who's a fan of the sport.
Now, do you see, I know DK Metcalf came out and ran, what was it, the 100 meter, I think it was?
Yeah, he ran the 100 against some pros in California a couple months ago.
Yeah, do you think that also brings some sort of attention to the sport that should be needed?
I think it's very cool to think about that comparison between the NFL speed and the track speed. And, I might have a biased point of view, but I think the track speed is definitely going to win that one. I think it was very funny how that one was reported by like Bleacher Report or something. So DK, he came in last in that heat. So he came in, I think it was 8th, right? So there were eight athletes in that race. He came in 8th. Bleacher Report goes and posts DK Metcalf finishes 8th in 100 meters at a professional track meet. So he finished 8th in that heat. And then everyone else in the other heat also ran faster than him. So he actually finished 16th or 17th. But, Bleacher Report, the details, whatever. And, the time he ran, I think it was 10:36 or something, which is like a great time. That would kick my ass. Don't get me wrong. I could not keep up with that for 100 meters. But, the world record is, I think it's something like 10:58. And in 100 meters, those 0.8 of a second or whatever it is, that is night and day. Even, 1/10 of a second, 0.2 of a second, that when you see that in real time, you watch a guy run 10:3 next to a guy who runs 9:9, that's, it's going to be a 20-meter difference over 100 meters. It's a fifth of the race. But it's so cool that DK's out there because people from NFL fans probably tuned into that meet and watched these guys run fast and were like, wow, this is pretty cool. Maybe we should start watching this on a more regular basis, They
should. Now, when do you guys typically have your meets? Mornings, nights, weekends, afternoons?
It sort of depends on the meet. I prefer a race, early, mid morning, late morning. But some meets are afternoon, some meets are evening. Really just depends on the meet. Depends on the weather too. They'll push around meets if it's going to be nasty outside. They'll delay them for heat. They delayed the Olympic trials a couple weeks ago there due to the crazy heat wave out in the Pacific Northwest. But it just depends on the meet and what's going on there.
Because I'd probably rather watch, a track meet compared to some English Premier League soccer going on Saturday, Sunday mornings. It's like, all right, these guys, 90 minutes, no goals. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like with track, it's more fast paced, and I think that's what people are looking for at this point. They like the fast paced sports. That's why I hate to say, I see baseball dying down until they change something going on there.
Yeah.
But I mean, DK Metcalf.
I think it would be tough to see track really come into that spotlight at the level of baseball, is just because of the accessibility to the sport. Like, it's very high for athletes who want to pick it up in middle school, high school, but post collegiately, like, to continue running professionally, it's very difficult because there's no money in the sport. It's not like baseball, basketball, football, where you graduate, or you don't even, a lot of times guys don't even graduate college. They'll go get a multi-million-dollar signing bonus, and then boom. Track and field, that does not exist. So it's just hard to create that same level of excitement in the professional ranks, just because there's just not as much money as other sports.
And it should be, though. It should be because I feel like it's the reason being because with how the world it works a little bit when it comes to sports. People like to see the trash talking, the high intensity pace of a game or certain sport. I just feel like when it comes to track and field, like, man, that takes a lot. It takes a lot on the body, and that's what I respect more of people of athletes that do that, that play that sport, because, man, like we talked about earlier, the grind every day, that you got to put yourself through. A lot of people don't really understand what really goes behind the scenes on that. But that was my question: is during the meet, is there any type of trash talking against the opponent, or is it just everybody's just focused on their race?
Maybe there's some before and after, but generally at the meet, everybody's very respectful. There's not much, and I mean, if you are out there talking trash to opponents, officials do reserve the right to disqualify you if you say something, which, I mean, that takes away from sort of a TV quality that some people might be looking for in what they're watching on TV. But I also think, you don't want to distract from just the pure performance aspect of the sport, because that is what track and field is to me. It's just, you put two people on the line and they go blood and guts to see who runs faster. And that's that. The clock doesn't lie. You can talk all the trash you want, but at the end of the day, one person runs faster and then the other person doesn't. It's not like in some of these other sports, so many other things factor into what happens, but track and field is really like, did you show up on that day or did you not?
Even if you're going against North Carolina or
See the North Carolina one, it's cool. We see them at a lot of meets, actually, so we get a lot of opportunities to race them.
Oh, nice.
So it's always fun to line up against a Carolina guy and try and kick their butt.
There you go. That's trash talking right there. There you
go. Exactly. Yeah, I guess.
I don't think he says butt.
No.
Oh man.
Talking about, I've always heard, while I was in season playing my sports, don't run on the treadmill. For some strange reason, don't run on the treadmill. Go run on the track. Don't run on the treadmill. Go run on the track. Go run on the street. Why is there such I guess, negativity against a treadmill.
There's some stigma around the treadmill. For me, basically, I avoid the treadmill because I use it a lot during rehab. Actually, that it's a great rehab tool. But when you're running on a treadmill, the tread is going and your feet are just spinning, keeping up with the tread. But when you're running on the street, you actually have to create that force yourself to propel yourself forward. On the treadmill, you're just sort of like a hamster in a hamster wheel, just spinning. But when you're actually running, you have to create a lot more force in it, and it uses different muscles as well.
Damn, I've been doing it wrong then.
Yeah, me too.
The treadmill is great though. I think that when you're trying to train, it's all about putting in miles and getting miles on your legs.
Yeah.
If like the last week when it was like 105 real field temperature wise, I would have loved to have access to a treadmill, to say the least, to get some water while I'm running. But there are times when the treadmill is great, and then there's other times where just getting out there and getting for a run and getting that time on your feet is pretty valuable for training to run your fastest. It's a totally different thing for sort of just like personal fitness. I think the treadmill is great. It's a lot more convenient than having to go leave your house and for an hour just out there running.
I always figured it was because you have the option to stop and then you can just walk away.
Yeah.
Whereas where you're running out in the street, you're like, all right, you got to run back now and get your stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's
probably some of that too.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I respect, again, going back to that's why I respect everyone that plays the track and field, because you guys are out during when it's 105 degrees outside, snow, 30 degrees, 20 degrees. Like you guys are really are putting in the work with your craft. And again, man, not that many people could say they can do that or have the mental capacity to put themselves in that type of environment, because that takes a lot, man. And I even saw a lot of people during when it was 105 degrees, people running and and just putting in the work like it's nothing, So I really respect that, man, for real.
Yeah, I appreciate that. For me, it's just like the whole thing's a mental game. It's like, yeah, this morning, did I feel good? Did I want to run? No, but is pushing the run to the afternoon, is that even an option? No, not really. Like you just got to get out the door and get moving, and then 5 minutes into your run, you're like, I'm really glad I'm out here right now, because I love doing it. That's the main reason I do it, is because I truly love it so much.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's something I need to take into account, but
I'm definitely getting on the treadmill after this though.
Yeah, there you go. Get on the treadmill. We just talked about this, Charles. No treadmills.
But this whole
get rid of the Nordic track, the Tony Little Gazelle. All right, get rid of it. Just hit the streets. Hit the streets of Lynn. All right. No, but winding down just a little bit. Do you have any advice? For young track athletes to get to a position of where you're at right now, and how to better themselves and better their craft, as well as potentially make it to the collegiate level and possibly Olympic level.
Yeah, I think the most important thing, like when you're young and running, it's all about just having fun. I had a lot of fun with track and field when I was younger, and that's part of why I love it so much now. And I think it's really important to, when you're little, like just play sports to have fun, and start to just build that competitive nature within yourself. And you'll find out pretty quickly whether or not it's for you. Cause I can't imagine my life without sports, without the structure of sports, like without working out every single day. Like that's just what I've done for the longest time now. And I'm really, one of the great things about running is it's a lifelong sport. You may stop running competitively in college, but you can go do marathons, half marathons, just to run with your friends afterwards. So it's just such a great sport, and I encourage anybody to go out there and try it.
Yeah, definitely. I have two more questions. All right.
Yeah.
Now, how do you know your history of track and field runners?
Yeah. I know.
Okay,
I know.
and so I'm gonna ask you a question. Obviously, you could tell me if you don't know them. All right, you could just pick two. All right. So if I give you a call, right? I say, yo, Theo, I need you to bring one more person to come race other people. All right. You got Usain Bolt.
Yep.
You got Allison Felix.
Yep.
You got Carl Lewis.
Yep.
And my favorite, my GOAT in the track and field, Michael Johnson.
Yep.
Who are you picking to go run with you and win that race? And you have to explain why.
Who would I want? Who would be my pick to win that race?
No, who would you want to partner with you to go?
Okay, who would I take as my teammate?
Yeah, exactly.
I would probably pick Bolt. I think watching that guy run for a dude who, he's like 6'3", racing. A lot of these 100 meter sprinters, they're smaller guys. They're like 5'10" to 6 foot. Watching him race is just the most unreal thing ever. And I think that's just getting to be with him would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, going against those would be some goats that I named too.
Oh yeah. No.
Usain Bolt, man, he's a cheat code. He's a cheat code.
Oh yeah.
I just remember watching the first time I saw him on TV. I thought it was like a Photoshop of his tapes. It just said Bolt. I'm like, this can't be real.
Yeah.
No, this is not real.
Oh man, and my last question for you, man. With the Olympics being here, is that a goal that you have in mind for yourself to one day hopefully attend and be a part of?
Oh yeah, the thing about track and field is there's always the next level to take it to. I think that the Olympics is the dream of any kid who ever sets foot on a track ever. Mm-hmm. I think it's also important to take your goals one step at a time right now. Like the next level for me is the ACC championships, right? And then the next level after that is the NCAA championships. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it's the Olympic trials. So those are sort of where my goals are. And I think, just got to tick them off one at a time. Yeah. I'd be lying to you if I said I don't dream about going to Olympics. Who doesn't? Who's ever ran? It's also important to know that there's some guys out there in the United States, only the top 3 800-meter guys get to go. Right. And there are some guys who are some absolute hammers that are unreal. So it's a hefty goal, to say the least.
Yeah, but I think with that mindset you have, just speaking with you almost like an hour, I definitely feel the passion you have for the sport and with your craft. And like you just said, and it's so important what you just said, taking the steps, and you can control what you can control, right? So you take those steps, get those out the way, and then eventually you get there. I think, honestly, in my opinion, with that mindset you have, I say everybody gets annoyed with me when I say it, but this person behind me, that Mamba mentality, that's what you have right now, and I see it with what you do with this sport, and I wish you nothing but the best, man. I wish you nothing.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. That means a lot. Thank you.
Definitely.
And the last thing I have, what is your favorite track to compete at?
Favorite track to compete at would be the Reggie Lewis Center in Boston. It's an outstanding track, and I have a lot of amazing memories there with my team, my family, and competitors there. So in the ACC championships, it rotates around and makes its way to BC, and it's been hosted there in the past. So hopefully I can get a homecoming race there sometime over the next 3-4 years.
Oh, you got plenty of time. As you said from the beginning, you got plenty of time. So
exactly.
And you're from Massachusetts when you say Boston,
Yeah.
Exactly. I love it. There you go. Yeah.
All right.
This has been great.
We appreciate you coming on, Theo. Sorry for keeping you so late. I know you got to wake up early. Worries. I know you got to run.
I'll see you out there tomorrow, right?
I don't know. I mean, it's getting pretty late.
Here
I
you
might
go.
be feeling well, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on how hard it rains tonight. I might have to.
I know. Yeah.
Clear out a swimming pool in my basement. But yeah, Theo, it's been awesome, man. And,
it's been amazing, man. Yeah.
You know, we're gonna look out for you coming up, and you know, maybe we can get you on again. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not maybe even after the Olympics to give us your thoughts on what could have been, what should have happened, and you know, who knows. And
I'll be watching every race, so I'll be able to keep you guys updated.
Can you put it on the big screen so when I walk by I can you know.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, Theo, it's been great, man.
All right, thanks, fellas. Brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No problem, bro.
Here we go.
There we go, man. Learned a lot.
It's definitely, you know, talking to not only, you know, Michaela and Taylor, you know, bringing light to women's basketball. You know, there's a lot of light that needs to be shed on track and field because, like Theo said, people don't understand what it's like to be a track athlete. They don't know what they're doing to their bodies. Like people just see them, okay, they go out, they run for 30 seconds or they run for a minute, they run for, you know, that's all they see. And that's all Sports Center will ever show.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, you know, and my brother, he's out in Oregon. He's a freshman in Oregon, and he sends me pictures of Haywood Stadium, and that's where they have that's where they host the NCAA championship for track and field. Wow. And you know, he's sending me videos, and I'm like, I would much rather watch that than 182 Red Sox games.
Oh my gosh, Jesus! Strike, ball, strike.
It's insane, but definitely there needs to be some change on, you know, the media side, as well as, you know, you do catch a few meets every once in a while, but that's only the big ones off season, or when DK Metcalf decides to say, hey, let me go out and flex all my muscles, I can beat all these guys. Okay, whatever, you lost.
He lost, right? But just to piggyback what you're saying, man, and I agree with you 100%. I just feel like, man, it's unfair that with the where the world is now with sports, and honestly, it's been like this when it comes to track. Not that much light put on the sport. It needs to be a change. It has to be, because it's starting to change. Everybody's honestly starting to really pick it up a little bit of like, oh, let me try this out. Let me try something different. Mm-hmm. Look at the boxing world. Everybody wants to be a boxer now. You know, everybody's trying something
McGregor. Who else wants to be a boxer? Jake Paul,
Chad Ochocinco, you know. So, but honestly, man, I think, and again, like honestly, and I'm not even just saying this because we had Theo on, but like just hearing him and talking to him, I might think about honestly trying different like routines and workouts when it comes to track, because you know I think we all as people just need to have a more open minded mindset and just really try stuff that we never did before. And then track and field, man, that takes a lot of dedication, and I see it with Theo, man. He wants to be great. So, and
especially with you know, the skills trainer, you got to start running those kids.
Yeah,
tell them to go run some laps.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely basketball, you're running up and down the court, you know, for the whole entire game. So
right, exactly.
It definitely does a lot of work for you. But track is definitely something that needs, you know, like I said, more light shed upon it.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Moving on.
Uh-oh.
We have the Suns Bucks. Game 2 going on right now.
What we got for scores?
Let's check the score. Let's give it a quick score check. I think the Bucks are going to win tonight. And
yeah, me too.
Yeah, they're losing 56-45 at half. God.
Well, this might be a sweep.
No, it's not going to happen. Like I said, Tony Brothers or Scott Foster.
Yeah.
If they are reffing any of these games, Scott Foster is known as the series lengthener.
Yeah.
And if you watch any games that he refs. I'm telling you, the calls, the no calls, you name it, he's the lengthener. I think to the NBA's extent, they want to create as much, I guess, content as you will to gain that revenue. And I mean, let's be real, sports is entertainment, but it's also a business. So, and I don't care what you say, if you're a gambler or if you're a diehard fan, these games go these lengths for a reason. And I personally think Tampa just wanted to let Montreal win just to get that championship at home. I mean, come on. You're wiping the floor with them for 3 games, and then all of a sudden, you lost in overtime? What, to bring it home for a 1-0 shutout? I don't know. That's a different. That is an absolute different topic for once we come back from break. And I've reached my limit with
unleash.
That.
We're gonna unleash. Let's go.
I don't know how much I can unleash. I gotta keep it at like a 5, maybe not a 10, about a 5. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We got big UFC match. We have NBA finals going on.
Let's go.
This stupid Tampa Bay Lightning championship. We got some other things too, but we'll be right back. So you know what I just noticed on that logo?
What's up?
We don't have. I made a Twitch account. Maybe we should switch from possibly Twitter to Twitch, because let's be real, Twitter is filled with nothing but a bunch of toxic people.
I was even thinking, let's go TikTok.
What? Listen, I was born in 1990. Okay. All I know is my 5-year-old daughter's on TikTok. Okay, I don't want to do anything that puts me in the same category as my 5-year-old daughter. I might be the cool dad, but I don't want to be that cool,
No, but you're right about that, man. Maybe we switch over to Twitch and maybe give Twitter a little break. Shout out to Twitter.
I've been giving Twitter a break. It's nothing good comes out of there. So I don't know. Where do you want to? Do you want to start NBA? You want to start NHL?
Let's go NHL, because you came off hot. You came off hot, and we got to keep going. You got to keep going.
I've been arguing with people all day on Instagram. All day. People posting, Tampa Bay Lightning win, Tampa Bay back-to-back, Tampa Bay. And then they post all this stupid. I'm like, listen, you guys are cheaters. I don't care if you found the loophole to get to the other side, okay? You killed Brady with Deflategate. You killed Belichick with Spygate. You killed all these people. And now we're coming after you because you guys are over the salary cap. Yeah. In any other sport, I don't care. Yeah. You put the guy on long-term injured reserve for, say put him on back in January. Oh, all of a sudden, here come the NHL playoffs. A month out. Let's go ahead and these guys are good to go, but we're not going to tell them they're healthy, even though we know for sure they're healthy.
Right.
And then boom, here you go. Tampa Bay Lightning.
Stanley Cup
back.
winners.
Back to back.
Back to back. My God.
Cheater. I'm going to type it out right now. Okay. In big, bold.
Don't do it.
letters.
Don't do it.
Cheaters.
Come on, don't do it.
Tampa Bay.
Hey, we might have
Lightning.
some Tampa fans, man. Come on. We might have some Tampa fans for the
Do
show.
not care. There it is. Cheaters. Tampa Bay Lightning. You are cheaters. I do not care. You guys weaseled away, and everybody's always coming up with the same thing. It's legal. Yeah, it's legal until you get called out for it. And then what? You got to be under the salary cap going into next season. What are you going to do?
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. Honestly, I do. But again, like what else? What the sports world in general, everybody cheats in every sport. If you think about it,
they do.
Everybody cheats, and everybody goes where the wave is. Once Brady went to Tampa, we should have all known that. All right, Tampa's going to be legit for a minute now. You know, Brady brings revenue. That he wins the Super Bowl. You know, that just carries on with the momentum. So it could be a momentum too, because you know you got to give players a little bit of credit. They feed off of that momentum too. But at the same time, man, facts are facts. Yeah, I mean, facts are facts. You know,
call it like you will. I took this from Barstool Sportsbook. Okay, yeah. Where Tom Brady calls home. Going back from 1980 to 94, he lived in the Bay Area. The champions were the Oakland Raiders, 49ers, 4 years, the Oakland A's, and the San Francisco 49ers again. And then when he went on to go play at Michigan, okay, lived in the Detroit metro area. The University of Michigan won the national championship. The Detroit Tigers. Oh, no, Detroit Red Wings. Tigers are always irrelevant. Stanley Cup champs. Yeah. And then you head on over to Boston. Okay, from 2001 until 2018, the Patriots, we don't need to talk about how many championships they won. Red Sox, same. Yeah, and then we had a Celtics and a Bruins championship in there. And then here you go. 2020, you get Tampa. In 2021, you get Tampa.
Might get them next year.
They're running it back. I already told you that. I don't care how many people come at me and say, "Oh, but Pat Mahomes is coming out strong." Blah, blah, blah. I don't care about Pat Mahomes. I already told you it's going to be Bills Bucks.
But that's what I'm saying. If Brady wins again, we cannot be surprised if all the rest of the Tampa teams start getting on a winning streak. It's just how it goes, man. This is how it goes. The momentum swings, but then again, if you're over the salary cap, I got to fix that because that's a problem.
Yeah, but Tampa's only got actually, technically, okay. Tampa only has one team.
Very true.
Tampa Bay Rays don't play in Tampa. They play in St. Petersburg. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been to that stadium. It's the worst stadium to ever watch a baseball game in.
Yeah.
It's in St. Petersburg. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they got to bring a basketball team. You know, just buy the Orlando Magic.
That's it. Just buy it. I don't know.
I think people go to Orlando Magic games when they go to Disney with their family. You know, it's like putting a Vegas team out there. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's go watch a Knights game.
Yeah.
Let's go watch a Raiders game now.
Yeah. Who goes to Raiders game? No. Come on. No shade, Oakland. I love Oakland, but no Raiders. Yeah,
I've never seen the West Coast.
Really?
No.
Furthest
I've been was Vegas when I was like 12 years old.
Wow, you gotta get out.
I've seen other play. I mean, I don't want to go to California. I'm telling you, I'm going to Oregon. Okay. I'm going to Oregon this year. I'm going. I don't care. You can tell my bosses I'm going to be gone for the weekend. At this point, I do not care.
But do we want to congratulate the Lightning? Do we want to just congratulate?
Absolutely not. No.
I kind of want to. They're champions.
Nope. It's just like what was it last year? I think it was last year. Bruins, Tampa, All of a sudden, Steven Stamkos gets healthy. Boom, he's on the ice. Boom, he's scoring goals. He's scoring goals. He's scoring goals. Okay, this guy's been inactive for so long, and then boom, he's active.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean,
what if they win it again next year the right way?
Not gonna happen. No, not gonna happen. Absolutely not.
Well,
so what? I don't even want to talk about this anymore. In your eyes, the NBA, who realistically is going to come out here as a champion?
It's kind of similar to what we just said, what we're talking about now, man. You see it, the way it's shaping up. The NBA wants to see Chris Paul win the championship. They really do, man. This is but at the same time, I'm not gonna take away Chris Paul's legacy right now because it shows he's a great leader. Devin Booker called him the best leader of all time. I gotta look in my history book with that, but it just shows. Look what Chris Paul did last year with an Oklahoma City team. You know, got to the bubble and almost beat Houston in seven, almost beat them in the seventh game. So, you know, this is destined for Chris Paul. Again, it'll be very impressive as well, beating the Greek Freak. I just feel like this is Chris Paul's moment now. Anything can happen though. Anything can happen. I'm knocking on wood right now, but hopefully this is a clean, you know, no injury type of finals. But you know, I'm gonna go with the Suns, the Bucks. They just shoot a lot of 3-point shots, man. They're a horrible 3-point shooting team right now. They were the highest scoring team in the regular season, but you know, the playoffs teams buckle down on you. So, you know, I just feel like if you think about it, they kind of played better without Giannis. Those 2 games against Atlanta, the ball was moving. Chris Middleton was looking like a real all-star. Jrue Holiday. Gallinari. You know, so Jrue Holiday was playing well. The whole team, Brook Lopez. Giannis, you need to give him the ball. He's like 6'9", whatever, how many pounds you weigh. You got to give him the ball. But I just feel like they played better. So that's why I got the Suns. I got the Suns either in the 7th game or 6 games. I'm kind of now, if the Suns beat them tonight, they'll be up 2-0. I'm going to go 6 games Suns.
I mean, I know how hard it is to break your routine. And I just think it's completely hilarious that the fans, as soon as Giannis gets to the line, they're counting. They're counting because we all know he takes his time. We all know it.
2. I ain't gonna lie. If I was a fan, even though it's kind of disrespectful, I'll probably just do it just so I can say I did it because it's kind of funny, but at the same time, I'm just like, damn, you know, it's kind of this is where the league's getting to now. Like that's kind of rude, but at the same time, it's kind of fun. So I don't know what I would do, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's what you have. What 10 seconds to get that ball off?
10 seconds.
Yeah,
this dude's almost had like 11, 12.
They've counted to 12, and he's missing his layups. I mean, he's missing his free throws. Sorry,
airballing.
Not even like it would be a different outcome if he would hit his free throws.
That's it.
You know, and that comes back down to basic, you know, basketball 101. I mean, is he too big? One thing.
Is he too strong?
That's one thing. I mean, I've said numerous times, I haven't played basketball since 7th and 8th grade, but I'm pretty sure that before you leave the gym, you need to hit 10 free throws in a row.
Sometimes 100. If people shoot like 100 free throws after practice.
Well, this is 7th and 8th grade. This isn't.
Oh.
This isn't the NBA, man. No, but I think, you know, I don't know. I'm not an athlete. I would never be in his shoes, but you know, you just gotta, at some point, you just need to block these people out, and you need to speed your routine up or change it. You don't gotta take and then get the ball.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Who do you have winning this series?
I do have the Suns. I do have the Suns.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see Atlanta.
Me too.
I wanted to see Trae Young. Trae Young missed a couple of those games, and honestly, the Hawks played better than the Bucks.
They did,
but there was
too much Chris Middleton. Yeah, too much.
I was skeptical when Giannis came back, and I was saying to myself, he's going to get injured again. It's just his. I guess that's his routine. He likes getting injured in the playoffs.
Was scary. I thought like he said, he thought he was going to be out for a year.
Yeah.
So he's lucky to be playing. So NBA Finals is a weird NBA Finals because LeBron James is not on there, or Steph Curry, or KD, or So I love where the NBA is going now. I think it's going to make every team hungrier next year. Celtics, hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. But the Olympics is on. Well, now the Tokyo's shutting down. I think I just saw that there no spectators can come, so they're just gonna have teams play and no crowds. So I guess that's a bet. We're starting to go back to square one again with this coronavirus stuff. But how do you like did you get a chance to see the roster of the Team USA?
I do. I like the fact that Tatum's wearing Kobe's number.
Yeah.
Just to, because it's Kobe. But I think it would have been better on somebody else, honestly. I don't know. I think Tatum's there, but there's definitely somebody else that could have, worn that jersey.
And I think what you're trying to say, which is, I get it. I think what you're trying to say, Tatum needs to prove himself still. He still needs to prove himself before he gets that again. That was Jason Tatum, Kobe Bryant was his idol. I get that part, but you see, it just goes to show what we're saying. You see what sports does to certain athletes. It's like, all right, I'm gonna give you the number 10 jersey, the Kobe jersey. I need you to be Kobe. Why can't he just be Jason Tatum and just work on being Jason Tatum? I get it. No, that's great for him. I respect that, especially I'm a Kobe guy. So I see what you're saying. So I if things go well, Team USA is going to win this whole thing. They just got too many. When you have Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, the list goes on. Jason Tatum,
even Draymond's looking fit and healthier.
Bam Adebayo. They got Zach LaVine. They got Jeremy Grant. They got so many guys that can just score at will. They're kind of small. There's no bigs, especially going against Spain and all these other teams out there. But overall, ultimately, KD is KD. Like he says, who I am. Yeah, it's Kevin Durant. So
they do have Team Kevin USA Love though. They got Kevin Love.
Kevin Love. And a new breaking news just came out that it was not breaking, but the Celtics are looking for him. They've been looking at him for years, though. So I don't know.
Yeah. But then I think when his first name popped up, I think it was 3 years ago. I think this was before we got Kyrie. His name popped up, and then he ended up getting injured.
Yeah.
And then I think we ended up going with Hayward instead.
Right. Exactly.
What happened 3 minutes into the game?
Jesus Christ! But
Mass General is bed still for rent? Anybody? Penthouse suite.
Who do you like? You like Team USA winning it all?
I mean, it's gonna be tough.
It is. Luka's out there.
Yeah, he's doing those crazy no look over the head passes. I just see an imbalance of. Well, it's not like the teams of the past where Team USA would just go out and smoke a team by 50 or 60 plus points. Some of these games are really close, and the competitiveness is definitely there. Yeah. And I think, I hate to be that person to say it's anybody's game, but it's honestly anybody's game at this point. I don't know.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the match? Did you catch any of it?
Brady is a comedian. My gosh, is Brady a comedian? Hey, that just goes to show he's a competitor, man. I ain't gonna lie. Watching him, I watched some highlights of the match, and a part of me was missing him
honestly. Just missing him being in the Patriots jersey because of his the way he competes. He's a competitor, man, and he's trying whatever he can to get in Aaron Rodgers' head. He's saying, "I think this is the leader of the Packers."
Man,
you know,
I'm sorry. Like just listening to Aaron Rodgers for that whole entire match, he is such a dry person.
Know,
he
man.
has no funny bone in his.
No personality.
I swear, between him and Bryson DeChambeau, hey partner, I got your ball, partner. This is a good shot, partner. Like, okay, like stop calling each other partners. Like, are you from Texas or something? You know what I'm saying? Hey, partner. No, like Aaron Rodgers, dry, weak personality. Couldn't get behind him, and
he got the.
I just thought it was. They did, and that's. I mean, everybody's saying Bryson. You know, he's the way that he tees off, the way that he hits the ball is, you know, not your typical way to hit a golf ball. Yeah, okay, but here's the guy on a par 5 hitting the ball 450 yards plus, you know, but he was shanking the balls in the woods. But, you know, everybody says, oh, yeah, you know, I don't know why he was doing that. You know, these guys are doing these charity tournaments. They're not gonna play like they're playing an actual PGA Tour championship. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna have fun. And I don't know. I think Phil's pretty pissed at Tom Brady. He's got
I think, and at the same time, I kind of think Brady. They made it about Brady the whole time. You know, asking him questions about the Atlanta Falcons game, and like it was just like I think it took away and took Aaron Rodgers' credit. Maybe he, with that technique, he was like, I'm just going to focus on trying to get this win. And not, he's kind of, if you think about it, he's kind of okay with not being the talk of the league right now. I mean, he is because he still is not showing up for any workouts.
Well, hey, whoa. N'Keal Harry's taking the spotlight right now.
Yeah, I'm glad he, again, see, shout out to N'Keal Harry. I respect that you're in the NFL. You know what I mean? I know I don't know, but I understand the grind it takes from where you started as a kid to where you're at now. You have a potential opportunity to make money in your career, but I'm kind of glad that you're out of you want to get traded because you haven't done anything for us. If you didn't do nothing with the GOAT.
But that's the thing. It's like I'm hard to gauge on him. He was great in college. You know, he'd throw his tantrums when he wouldn't get the ball thrown to him, whatever. That's typical wide receiver-esque of them. But, you know, knowing that Tom Brady does not like targeting young receivers, I mean, you gotta go ahead and there's a reason why Edelman wasn't number 1 receiver. There's a reason why Wes Welker wasn't number 1 receiver. I just think he needs to. I mean, he can't block. He can't block. He
can't catch. He can't run routes.
And you know, they even said put him in like a Cordero Patterson type position.
Can he do that?
Absolutely not. You know, and you've seen what Cordero Patterson's been doing lately.
Why did we not re-sign him? That makes okay. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
But again, N'Keal Harry, I hope you get your trade request. I hope you teams want. But that's the thing. Our team's gonna want. What have you done for? It's a what have you done for me lately type of league, you know.
And especially you're in your second year and you're crying. He doesn't even have a real agent. He's a lawyer. He's not.
That's what I'm saying.
Sports agent.
So man, why don't you humble your? No, I'm not gonna say I'm pretty sure he's humble. But why don't you really work on your craft and just focus on this season? You have an opportunity. You have more now. Teams won't because again, his credit, teams were still target like the defenders were still targeting him because they know he still has potential to be something. Mm-hmm. Now you added more weapons on the team. Maybe you could find your way in that. But again, it could just be Bill Belichick, like, yeah, get him out of here. You know,
I think it had a little bit to do with Cam Newton.
Oh yeah,
not being able to throw the ball. But I don't know. Hopefully, Cam comes back. I might give you an extension. I might give you the 8 weeks.
8 weeks?
8 weeks.
You started with what? You started with 3.
I started with I think 5.
You said 5? Okay.
3?
No, I thought it was 3.
Yeah.
You said
maybe
3.
Maybe it was 3.
Yeah.
So
So from 3 to 8, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. MVP season, I'm telling you, on the way.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I see the Patriots going with either 6 or 7 wins this season.
Oh, jeez, no playoffs?
No.
Man,
no, I mean,
your Bills. You're on that, and that's good. You're on the to your credit, the Bills. They have proven they're ready. They're ready.
They are. I mean, but I think, I think it's week 2. I'm looking forward to the Chargers at Arrowhead face the Chiefs.
Oh yes,
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. I mean, you're not worried about Patrick Mahomes, you said?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't know. Man.
Chargers are gonna be a different team this year.
I hope so. They're still young. They're still young. They're still young. I feel like they got one more year to with growing pains. Justin Herbert, I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a great year. But they're still too young. Against that Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is a bad boy, man. He's a bad boy. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, man. I mean, I'm excited for the football season. I can't believe that the summer is basically almost over. We're in July.
Oh, don't say that.
well, yeah, I know. But football season's starting to, kick in. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for just that part of sports. I'm trying to avoid baseball as much as we can. But again, man, football season is almost here. I can't wait. I'm rooting for my Patriots. I can't wait for that Brady versus when he comes here, man, that's gonna be exciting. So I'm all for the football season.
Now pushing a little into the MLB, we have the All-Star break coming up. Looking at, I think this home run derby is going to be a slightly different, mainly because of one name, and that's Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
The man can pitch. He's leading the league in pitching, and he's leading the league in home runs. He's the modern day Babe Ruth. But I mean, looking at who's in the home run derby, you have Shohei Ohtani, Pete Alonso, Trevor Story, Trey Mancini, Salvador Perez, Matt Olson, Juan Soto, and Joey Gallo. I was just about to say, I think the one person that's going to give him trouble is Juan Soto. The kid is, I love watching him get up to the batter's box, and just he has fun with the game, and it shows.
Yeah,
he's fun. If for anybody who has never watched, I mean, you've clearly, if you watch baseball and you watch the World Series, you know who Juan Soto is. But if you don't, you gotta YouTube some clips. You gotta do something. This guy is just, he makes you laugh every time he steps in the batter's box.
He plays with joy. And I think that's what you need, especially for baseball, man. You remember how Manny Ramirez used to just smile while he's at the bat, and he just ready to go. Like baseball kind of missed that a little bit. Everyone's too serious. Baseball's starting to get maybe a little bit too negative of a rep. And people are just, you can see players are just not into it as much. But you got to play with joy when it comes to baseball. And Soto is, man, he's different. He's different. I expect a great all-star game, but I think with the break, I think with the Red Sox, man, I'm impressed with the first half. I'm impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed. My eyes are open now. And now the second half, though, that's when you got to think about the second half. Are they gonna take that slip? About. Yeah. Are they gonna take that slip and just relax a little bit, or are they going to keep it going? Because you know how breaks go. That momentum going toward the break, people tend to go back home, drink a few beers. You know what I'm saying? Not go with their families. It's just you need that momentum. So hopefully the Red Sox keep picking it up. What are they still in second, or are they in first? No, they're in first, right?
I believe they're in first. I think they're 2.5 games ahead of Tampa.
Tampa, yeah.
Let me just check that right now. See if I'm.
Yeah, and I
see if
believe
I'm
Yankees
correct.
are in fourth or third.
Tampa's 2.5 back. Yankees are 4.5 back and fourth. And what do you know? The team that decided to sweep the Red Sox, the first mini series of the season, they're in last place in the AL East. Baltimore Orioles.
I feel like the Red Sox always have to get swept the first week of the season. You know?
Man, did you see what the Red Sox did on Twitter? They changed their profile, their description underneath them, and they said something like, "Do you remember the first season? Do you remember your tweets from the beginning of the season? Well, we do." It's like, come on.
See, this is
it
why
just
I'm
makes
worried.
Me sick.
This is why I'm worried about the second half, man. They're getting too cocky.
Yep.
I don't know, LeBron. What you gonna do? You part owner. What you about to do, man? Is he part owner? He's part owner, right? Of course.
He's part owner in the Fenway Sports Group. So I think that covers. What is it? Liverpool. I think they cover Liverpool too. The soccer club out in England.
Okay.
I think, but I mean, he's only a part owner.
Yeah,
I'm not. I mean, I don't want to see him around town. Definitely not. I do not. But yeah, it's good to see that some of these Red Sox players are actually on the starting lineup for the American League. You got Rafael Devers and Xander Bogaerts, and then you have JD Martinez, who's one of the reserves. But then you head on down to pitching, which we all thought the Red Sox were going to have a huge problem with.
Me too.
Nathan Eovaldi's been turning it on. He's been turning it on. I saw him pitch live the other night against the Yankees. That game was insane. He's a completely different pitcher than he was last season, and he's taken on the role that not a lot of people can. But just wait until Chris Sale comes back, and then you have reliever Matt Barnes.
Well, when's he coming back? That's what I'm worried about.
I don't know. I think it'll be after the All-Star break, probably towards early to mid-August. That's what I mean. That's just what I would think.
Okay.
Because I mean, he's throwing now, and who knows? You gotta get back to World Series champion.
Yeah.
Chris Sale that you were a couple of years ago.
Right.
And that's tough, especially coming off of surgery. But who knows? We're just in a. I mean, Boston just needs. We need a championship. We need a championship bad.
If they make the playoffs, let's head to a few games, man. Let's head to a few games and support our teams, man. So hopefully they get it done completely. Because I mean, who are you worried about in the NL?
I mean, Alex touched on it a couple of weeks ago. The Padres. I think he said
Padres.
And
are the Dodgers making noise? Dodgers ain't making noise this year,
right? Not as they should. They definitely should. I don't know. San Francisco's leading the NL West right now, but I don't know. That's the thing about baseball. Anything can happen.
Houston Astros can cheat again and come. And
here we go on the cheating scandal.
I'm joking.
And it's crazy to see the Mets are leading the NL East right now.
That's good for New York. They need to compete with the Yankees, so that's good.
Yeah, they need. I think it was 2000, the Subway Series where it was the Mets Yankees. Series. Yeah, man, that was crazy. Yeah. And I think I had a souvenir train where it said like Yankees Mets Subway Series.
Oh my gosh. But my guy Mike Piazza. I love Mike Piazza.
He was my favorite. And I used to catch too, so I'd be like Mike Piazza. And I used to play on my minor league team was the Mets. So
wow.
I think that's Yeah, when you're a minor league, baseball or even basketball, you get the jerseys, and they're all based off of the regular teams.
Which
so
one's your
like,
favorite? Right. Which one's your favorite jersey? Which color of the Mets? I like
my
the
favorite.
black.
My favorite color is orange. So if they did an orange jersey with the blue NY on it,
ooh, that'd be
nice. Fresh.
That'd be fresh. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm done talking baseball now.
My
mind's starting to wander. But
oh man,
I'm headed into the weekend. Before we go, real quick, we have McGregor, Poirier, round three. Charles, who you taking?
Conor McGregor. The comeback is real. This is a different Conor. He's like on some like. Again, I know we've seen this before. He talks a lot of crap. He gets knocked out. But that time off he needed, I think so. He's always in shape. He's still the cocky Conor McGregor, but he's and I don't know. But again, it's kind of hard because he said that last time. He was a humble Conor McGregor. So I just feel like he's coming for his neck, and this is not going to be pretty for him. It's not.
Dustin Poirier is going to take this. Like I said to you before, I think this is going to go mid second round. Conor McGregor is going to either get knocked out or he's going to tap out. He's at that point in his career where he's hitting the end, and he like the winner of this gets a title shot. Okay,
exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
That's good for Conor. He's out there, I love the feeling of the belt on me. I love it. The weight of the belt on you going into, you're just doing your little Irish shimmy. Yeah, that's cool. But last match you had against Dustin Poirier, you got injured. You got injured.
Messed his leg up bad. Broke his leg.
I don't see this. I don't see this going in McGregor's way. Yeah, McGregor's the favorite going into this, but McGregor's always the favorite because of his name.
I don't
and then one more thing: Tyson Fury and Wilder.
Unfortunately,
it just got postponed because who is it? Fury tested positive.
That's a positive. I was excited for that match and. Man, I'm just a little nervous now with this whole COVID stuff again. It's like sports. Are we going back to bubble, or are we going back to just no fans again because it was getting back to normal? So now, COVID's back. It kind of psyched us out a little bit for a month, and now it's back. So unfortunately, that fight had to be canceled because I was ready for that fight. I thought
he's what? He's training out in England?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what the stats are like over there right now, but I mean that could be one of the reasons. But
that sucks.
Who knows?
Yeah,
but
it sucks.
Yeah, Charles, you want to go ahead and give us a little sneak peek of who's coming on next week?
Let's wait on that. Let's wait on that. Let's wait on that. All right. Yeah. Let's wait on that.
You gotta check the gram on Saturday.
Gotta check the gram on Saturday. We'll check the gram on Saturday.
We will. We'll catch you guys next week. Charles, you got anything else?
Nothing else. Shout out Theo for coming on and giving us some game on track and field, and we wish you the best of luck, man, for sure.
Definitely, and go Duke.
Go Duke.
Never thought I'd say that. Go Duke.
Sir.
See you guys next week.